Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yuanxing Wang from Peking University. It is a pity that I cannot join you guys synchronously, but I am still very excited to present our research on the top 4 paper division. The paper I'm going to talk about today is Dynamics of the Processes and Performance of the Teams using Enterprise Social Media. Last year, I had a chance to visit Sonic at Northwestern University. Sonic is the Science of the Networks in Communities research group, whose director is Professor Nasher Contractor. And I joined the Enterprise Social Media Project, which is funded by the NSF. This research was conducted during that time and under the guidance of the Nasher. These are the paper's co-authors. Thank you for their support. As we know, as the coronavirus was spreading since 2020, most of the companies and organizations were entering the digital workspace. Escalating demand for this workspace is driving the growth of the enterprise social media. The adoption rate of the ESM has increased dramatically. McKinsey reported that after COVID-19, organizations will reconstruct how work is done. Enterprise social media, like Slack, provide the platform to create a virtual team and environment of remote collaboration. The technology expects to help teams to communicate and collaborate effectively, productively, and enhance performance. At the same time, the technology also provides the researchers a chance to collect higher resolution data on team processes and actions from the data server. The collaboration and interaction behaviors could be recorded, more than self-reported, and then analyze the longitudinal data. But having ESM is not enough to improve performance, especially in teams. How people use ESM will impact the team's performance. So, our research study main question is, how do temporal changes in the rates of the 3 types of the team processes impact the performance of teams' coordination via ESM? The main takeaways from this study include that the changes in team processes on ESM do not follow a linear growth, and high-performance teams engage in higher level of the transition and action processes during the middle stage of the project, while low-performance teams delay engaging in processes until the end stage. Previous studies have proposed that team processes are changing all the time. People will take temporal pacing as a signal to changing their behavior to next step. In different time phases, people prefer doing some specific work like task assignment, role transformation, or decision making. Virtual teams also show similar interaction patterns. There are so many team processes and definitions. Our research assumed the definition provided by Marx and her colleagues. It had 3 superordinate categories: transition process, action process, and interpersonal process. Briefly speaking, transition process, it refers to make a plan to a goal, assign task, or notification of the new updates. As for the action process, it means the phase of the conduct activities to goal accomplishment. For example, like information or knowledge sharing among teammates, regular progress report, and team coordination. The last one, the interpersonal process. It is more about the relationship and emotion. It refers to the team confidence building, like encouragement, express gratitude, conflict management, and emotional management. This study is based on these 3 processes to raise our hypothesis. Some research believe that people need to pay more attention to the early stage to make a perfect and complete plans. However, some studies have questioned and proposed that midpoint is the appropriate time to do the strategy because people are unfamiliar with the project at the very beginning. If a team always doing transition process at a wrong time, it will influence the team performance. So our hypothesis 1A and 1B are high performance teams are likely to have a highest level of the transition process in the middle phase than any other phases, while the low performance team are likely to have a highest level of the transition process in the end phase than other phases. Action process is related to conduct project activities. Doing activities ahead of schedule is not taken as a smart move. A little delay of the action process maybe can help employees to set priorities. At midpoint also can be a reminder to push the team to make more contributions. So our second hypothesis are high-performing teams are likely to have a highest level of the action process in the middle stage. Low-performing team will have the highest level of the action process in the end phase. As for interpersonal process, people need to build relationship at the beginning and avoid conflicts so that they could reduce the uncertainty and work together. In previous team conflict research, they discovered that high-performance team will have a low conflict at the beginning, while the low-performance team will accumulate conflict over time. So we propose that high-performing teams are more likely have a lowest level of the interpersonal process in the early phase. The low-performance team are likely to have a highest level of the interpersonal process in the end phase. We conducted a field study in Chinese software development company. It has 2 offices based on Beijing and Shanghai, respectively. We used their digital trace data from ESM to get their wall post. The wall post contains the message that employees share with others publicly or only visible to the teammates. The unit of the content analysis is the conversation. The conversation is carried out by the wall post and its comments. There are more than 3,000 conversations from 2013 to 2018. And then we use the content analysis to analyze the text. There are 2 raters in total independently code content as a presence or absence in each process. In order to make sure the coding reliability, we did the priori and post hoc reliability test. In priori phase, raters code 100 conversations after training, and in the post hoc stage, they code all the final sample. Both of the 2 stages show that alpha are over 0.7. We separated 3 time blocks, early, middle, and end, by evenly dividing project duration. The performance of the team has been evaluated by whether the teams have completed project as scheduled or whether they receive client satisfaction. We conducted a maneuver to test assumption of the variability for research questions. The main effect is significant. Each type of the team process occur over time, and their frequency are significantly different. We also did a longitudinal plot to depict each team's processes at each stage, and it reflects each team's changing tendency. And then we conducted 2 sample t-tests to test hypothesis 1 to 3. We compare the transition process between the middle stage and early or end stage, respectively, in high and low performance team. The results are consistent but not significant in hypothesis 1A. High performance teams have a highest level of the transition process in the middle stage, But results supported hypothesis 1b. Low performance teams have the highest level of the transition process in the end phase of any other phases. For action process, the results also are consistent in direction with the hypothesis 2a, and it supported hypothesis 2b. Low performance teams have the highest level of the action process in the end, and than any other phases. For interpersonal process, the results are not consistent with the hypothesis 3a. High-performance teams don't have the lowest level of the interpersonal process in the final stage. But the significant tests partially support the hypothesis 3b. Low-performance teams have the highest level of the interpersonal process in the end than any other phases. In addition, we built logistic regression for team process and performance across time. The results show that the early and end phase of the transition and action process have a significant negative impact coefficient on team performance. It means high-performance teams have a fewer transition processes and action processes in stage 1 and stage 3 as compared to low-performance teams. However, high-performance teams had no different interpersonal activity than low-performance teams in any of other 3 time periods. Based on the above-mentioned analysis, we provide our discussion on team processes and performance. Team processes on ESM changed over time, but the frequency do not increase or decrease in a linear way. For transition process, it is associated with a high-performance team, especially high at the middle stage, while low-performance teams prefer postpone all the process till the end stage, which may bring about conflict and emotional problems. If the virtual team help to make the best use of the ESM to facilitate work efficiency, they would better to remind employees of the crucial points for transition and action process and cut down the possibility of the high frequencies of the interpersonal process in the end stage. Although we make contributions to the team process and the performance research area, we still have some limitations which set the direction for the future research. First, the small sample size might weaken the significant test, which might explain some non-significant effects on high-performance teams. Future research could investigate larger project teams to ensure statistical power. Second, future research should consider low-order subcategories of team processes, especially like the conflict management and emotional management in interpersonal process. Third, our research measure performing using the binary measure. Future research should consider more continuous measures of the performance. That's all my research. Thank you for your attention. Last but not least, I want to thank for the support from the Brennan Dongping from the Sonic and Calvin and Hui from the Fudan University. Okay, here's my email address. I appreciate any questions, feedback, and suggestions. Thank you.